Welcome, curios, weirdos, and everything in between. So, yesterday we were on a journey with Mr. Dorian Gray on his downward spiral crash out. Well, today we're going to continue that journey and we're going to see where that journey takes us as it takes us on a path of non accountability, and it points the finger of accountability to places where it shouldn't go. It's going to wrap in other people. It's going to just keep spiraling deeper and deeper downward. Y'all want to hear how that goes?
Yeah.
Let's go. Put Oreo Jr. back there, and let me welcome everyone to the Curio Storyteller, where we take books of yesterday and we invite them to come and share with us their tales like they're old friends we haven't talked to in months. We cosplay some of the characters, and then we sit amongst each other and discuss what we read, what we learned, what we would say to the different characters, things of that nature. It's a weirdo book club, if you will. So, of course, the book we're revisiting today is The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. And let me tell you, we have this man who is giving accountability to pictures, to women he broke up with that he don't even know their name, and everything in between. And he again is taking no accountability for all his bad actions and spiraling out. So we're on that journey with Mr. Dorian Gray. Let's keep going. Basil flung himself into the rickety chair that was standing by the table and buried his hands in his face in his hands. Dorian was sobbing at the window. Y'all think he feeling some remorse? Y'all think maybe that was his sign?
We'll see.
Mm. What a lesson, Dorian. What an awful lesson. Pray, Dorian, pray, instructed Basil.
Sunday Funday School.
It should have been in Sunday Funday School, period, Sky. Yes. Come join us at Sunday Funday School, Basil and Dorian. Dorian, you can't come because you crazy. But Basil can come.
Oh, no redemption for
He could watch us online. You can't come to it, though, because you crazy. Anyway. What are we taught in boyhood? Forgive us our sins. Let us pray together. The prayer of your pride was answered. The prayer of your repentance will also be answered. I admired your beauty too much. We are both punished. Now, I don't know. I'm gonna just pause for the cause real quick. Sir, are you meaning we like in yes as in French, sir? Because Dorian did a lot of this stuff by himself. I don't know why it's a we in here. So I don't know. It's never too late, Dorian. Let us kneel down. You have done enough evil in your life. Don't you see accused Peyton leering at us? I'm gonna pause because I want to point something out real quick. I want to point and make sure everybody on the same page here.
All right.
Do y'all notice Basil is the only one taking accountability? Dorian is over there just crying, but I don't think he's crying because he care. I think he's crying because he got caught. But notice Basil is taking accountability for something he didn't. I mean, he painted the picture, but he didn't commit the crime. So just stick a pin in it, clock it, whatever. Dorian Gray glanced at the picture and suddenly felt an uncontrollable feeling of hatred for Basil.
Oh, no.
The mad passion of a cornered animal stirred within him. His hatred, he hated the man seated at the table more than he had ever hated anything in his whole life. I would be scared as hell. He glanced wildly around. His eyes fell on a knife that was laying on top of a chest. He slowly moved towards it, passing Basil. As soon as he got behind him, he seized the knife. Dorian quietly turned around and plunged the knife behind Basil's ear, crushing the man's head down on the table and stabbing him again and again. There was a muffled groan and the rich sound of someone choking with blood. Basil's arm shot up and grabbed at air. Dorian stabbed him twice more as blood began dripping on the ground. Basil did not move. Then Dorian threw the knife on the table and listened. Silence. He could hear nothing but the dripping of blood on the threadbare carpet. He opened the door and went out into the landing. He peered over the railing into the black seething well of darkness. The house was absolutely quiet. Then he took out the key and returned to the room, locking himself in. How quickly it had been done. Dorian Gray felt strangely calm. And walked over to the window, opening it, and stepped out into the balcony. The wind had blown the fog away, and the sky was like a peacock's tail, starred with rows of golden eyes. He looked down and saw the policeman making his rounds. Somebody should have called him upstairs because, sir, come arrest this man. He's ridiculous. Flashing the long beams of his lantern on doors of silent houses. A woman in a fluttering shawl was staggering along. A blast of bitter cold wind swept across the square. The gas lights flickered and became blue, and the leafless trees shook their branches back and forth. Dorian shivered and closed the window. He felt haunted and longed to escape from the room of unaliving and decay that you caused, sir. There was no time to delay. He must leave the room at once. He did not glance at the unalive man. The friend who had painted the fatal portrait had gone out of his life. That was enough. But is it, sir? Y'all think he gonna stop at this, or y'all think he gonna keep going down this bad path? What do y'all think? Y'all, because this is a mess.
I don't think there's any stopping him now.
Dorian locked the door behind him and crept quietly downstairs. He saw Basil's coat and bag. He hid them away and began to think. What evidence was there against him? Basil had left the house at 11. No one had seen him come in again. Most of the servants were at his country estate. Basil was scheduled to go to Paris by the midnight train. It would be months before his absence aroused suspicion. Months. All the evidence would be destroyed by then. A sudden thought struck him. He needed an alibi. Oh my God. Help. He put on his coat and hat and went outside. After a few moments, he rang the bell. In 5 minutes, his valet, looking very drowsy, answered the door. I'm sorry to wake you, Francis, he said, but I forgot my key. Did anyone call me this evening? Mr. Basil, sir, but he left at 11 to catch his train. Oh, I'm sorry I missed him. Did he leave any message? Asked Dorian shyly. No, sir, except that he will write to you from Paris. Thank you. That will be all, Francis. Call me at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. Good night. At 9 o'clock the next morning, Dorian's servant came in with a cup of hot chocolate and opened the shutters. The man had to touch him twice on the shoulders before he woke up. Dorian was sleeping quite peacefully. He looked like a little boy who had been tired out by healthy play. The fact that this man could just lay up in bed after doing this to his friend is just disgusting. Okay? It's wild. Okay? I would be nervous. I would be nervous being around this man. What y'all think? This man ain't got no friends. Ain't nobody safe around this man. He crazy. And he can go to sleep after that. It's given antisocial personality disorder. It's given sociopath. But gradually, the events of the previous night crept with blood-stained feet into his brain. He winced at the memory of what he had done and was again seized by a hatred for Basil, who had done nothing to him. He had unalived a man, and the unalived man was still in the house. Disgusting. After he finished his drink, he sat down at the table and wrote 2 letters. One he put in his pocket, the other he handed to his valet and ordered him to deliver it to a Mr. Alan Campbell. Dorian wanted Alan Campbell to come immediately to his home. Dorian passed the morning sketching and reading, but he was troubled by his thoughts. What if Mr. Alan Campbell was out of the country? Worse yet, what if he refused to see him? After all, they were no longer friends. They had been great friends once, 5 years ago. Then the closeness had ended, suddenly, completely. Now, when they met in society, it was only Dorian Gray who spoke. Alan Campbell never replied. Didn't Basil say something about that? Remember when he was like, oh, don't nobody mess with you? They say you horrible, you dusty, you crazy.
I'd say that.
I wonder why. Alan was an extremely smart young man who loved science. At Cambridge, he spent a great deal of time working in his laboratory. He was an excellent musician as well. And it was music that had first brought Alan Campbell and Dorian Gray together. Whether or not a quarrel had taken place, no one ever knew. But people remarked that they scarcely spoke when they met, and Campbell seemed to leave any party when Dorian Gray was present. I don't blame him. He had changed too. Alan was very depressed, began to dislike music, and absorbed himself completely in his scientific research. Dorian began to pace the hallway. The suspense was unbearable. Time seemed to be crawling with feet of lead. At last, the door opened. Mr. Campbell, sir, said the valet. A sigh of relief broke from Dorian's lips. Ask him to come in at once, Francis. Dorian felt he was himself again. He would be able to destroy the evidence quickly. Alan Campbell walked in, looking stern and rather pale. Sir, you don't even know. Dorian sat in a chair by the table, and Dorian sat opposite of him. The 2 men met eyes. Dorian knew what he was about to do was dreadful, as if the thing he had done before was not dreadful, but here we go, y'all. Thank you for coming, Alan. Your note said it was a matter of life or unaliving, said Alan. I don't care. I came to tell you that. I want nothing to do with you. I refuse to get mixed up in your life and your shameful secrets. Period. Look, Alan know Dorian is on that foolishness. Okay, Alan, like, I ain't got time for this oosh-gosh, goosh-gosh. I ain't got time. Dorian listened quietly to Alan's angry words. He collected his thoughts and leaned forward, speaking softly. Alan, I unalived a man. Who just starts with that? Sir, you are mentally not well. Okay, anyway. He had more to do with my life than you realize. Alan, I need your help in destroying the body. You are a doctor, added Dorian. You know how to get rid of it for me. What would y'all say if y'all replied to an old friend? told them you don't want none of their foolishness, and this is how they reply, what would y'all say to them? Because I would have got up and left. I would have grabbed my purse and left. But that's just me. Let's keep going. You are the one man who will be able to save me. I am forced to bring you into this matter. I have no options. I have no desire to help you, Dorian, Alan declared. Alan, you are scientific minded. You know about chemistry and things of that nature. You have made experiments. What you have got to do is destroy the body that is upstairs. Destroy it so that not a trace of it will be left, Dorian instructed. Nobody saw this person come into the house. Indeed, at the present moment, he is supposed to be in Paris. He is talking about this like he telling Alan to go pick up some hamburgers or something. This is crazy. When he is missed, there must be no trace of him found here. You, Alan, must change him and everything that belongs to him into a handful of ashes that I can scatter into the air. You are mad, Dorian, replied Alan coolly. Mad to imagine that I will raise a finger to help you after this this horrible confession. I will have nothing to do with the matter. I don't care what shame you endure. You deserve it. I agree with that. You must have something to do with it. Wait and listen to me, Alan instructed Dorian. Unalive? Good God, Dorian. Is that what you have come to? I won't inform the police. I have no business. He like, I have no business with this. Besides, you are certain to be arrested. Nobody ever commits a crime without doing something stupid. But I will have nothing to do with it. Dorian listened to his friend without expression. Then he stated in a firm manner, all I ask, Alan, is that you perform a certain scientific experiment. You go to hospitals and unalive houses, and the horrors there don't affect you. If in some hideous laboratory you found a man lying on a table with slashes all over his body, which is what you did, Dorian, you would simply look at him as an interesting subject. You would not believe you were doing anything wrong. What I want you to do, Alan, is to merely do what you have done before. And remember, it is only pieces of evidence against me. If it is discovered, I am lost. Like you give it down. And it is sure to be discovered unless you help me. A look of pity mixed with anger came into Dorian Gray's eyes. Alan, I beg of you, he said. Think of the position that I am in. Just before you came, I was seized with terror. No, he wasn't. He was painting and reading. He lying. Sorry. I got too invested in the book. I'm sorry, y'all. Let me keep going. Please, we were friends once. Don't speak to me about those days. They are unalive, replied Alan. But Alan, if you don't help me, I'm ruined. The authorities will hang me, Dorian shouted. There is no good begging, Dorian, Alan stated firmly. I absolutely refuse to do anything in this matter. It is insane of you to ask me. If you have gotten yourself into serious trouble, it is of no concern of mine. You committed the problem. Now you have to solve it. You are sure you refuse to help me, Dorian said one last time. I refuse, said Alan. Dorian paused for a moment, then took a piece of paper and wrote something on it. He folded it carefully and gave it to Campbell, who read it and fell back into his chair. As he read it, his face turned pale. A horrible sense of sickness came over him. Alan felt as if his heart was beating itself to unalive him. After 2 or 3 minutes of terrible silence, Dorian spoke. I'm sorry, Alan, but you leave me no choice. If you don't help me, I will send this letter I have written to the name on the paper. It is impossible for you to refuse me now. Is anybody else wondering what he wrote on that paper? I'm nosy. What he wrote on that paper?
I don't know.
They got this man ready to dispose of a body. What you say? What you know? Who you know? Anyway, Campbell nodded miserably. He buried his face in hands, and a shudder passed through him. He knew he had no choice. If he refused Dorian Gray, it meant ruin for himself. And just like that, his old friend got dragged into this foolishness. Child, the stakes then got high. Yes, it is my turn to dictate terms, Alan. You know what they are. Just do what I ask. Dorian placed his hand on Alan's shoulders, and the weight seemed to crush him. Admitting defeat, he asked Dorian to contact his assistant and secure the necessary tools. Once they arrived, Dorian escorted him upstairs to the playroom. Dorian opened the door and saw the face of the portrait in the sunlight. Child, it looked terrible. He remembered the night before he had forgotten, for the first time in his life, to hide the fatal canvas. How horrible it was. What was that red dew that glistened on one of the hands? Sir, some would call that a guilty conscience. Had the canvas sweated blood? Without looking further, Dorian grabbed the torn cover and flung it over the possessed painting. Leave me alone, ordered Alan. It will take several hours. By dinner time, Alan returned downstairs. I have done what you asked, he said bitterly. Now, I never want to see you again. We gonna just sit with that for a moment, child. Okay? Y'all see how this escalated? This crazy. Okay? Y'all see how innocent people getting hurt and caught up in this foolishness because this man don't want to take accountability? This crazy. It's just escalating, child. It's just escalating on. Okay. We gonna end it there because that was a lot. But I'm gonna, end it with a question. So because I know mine are just blown, honey. The question is, where do you think Dorian Gray is going to take this next? Because he has crossed a major threshold. He has unalived a friend. So where do y'all think he's going to take it next? You guys put in the comment section. Scott, where do you think he's going next with this? Child.
Yeah, just keeps going downhill from here.
Crash out, baby. I'm going to point out something that stood out to me. I know, I asked a question, but I'm going to point out something that stood out to me. Dorian keeps pawning off his accountability to everyone and just sucking them into the black cloud of his bad decision making. And it started with a painting and it just keeps going and everybody is the problem. And something is telling me that eventually it's going to catch up to him. The demon's going to catch up to him. The skeleton's going to fall out the closet. So it's just standing out to me the fact that this man takes absolutely no accountability and just keeps pointing the finger at people like it's their problem when it's not. They did nothing, but we're just close to him. So did you have anything else?
No.
Okay. That was a heavy one, y'all. Sorry about that, but y'all know we got to get through these classic books. So with that, guys, we're going to end this live. As always, we had a great time spending time with you guys. And of course, as always, we hope you guys had a good time hanging with us. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, check out some other videos, live, shorts, all that good stuff, because this is not just a channel about Scott, Oreo Jr., and myself. It's about all of us and these fun books that we read. So with that, we're going to bid you guys adieu. So from wherever we are, even when we are trying to avoid our friend that we know is Dusty, and he called us up anyway to have us do his dirty work, to wherever you guys are, peace, love, and happiness. And we'll see you guys next week, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.